Heat can stay focused, stay composed, because everything was working for them. There was nothing that didn't work for them in the prelims.
Matty, tell me, do you think the large roster that Dynasty has affecting them compared to Heat's?
Well, that's a good question. I don't think so, because their two lines have been playing really good. I mean, they're coming off that World Cup win. Dynasty really picked it up the end of last season. Now here we go, first point, and Ryan Smith.
Dynasty's down 2 immediately, and here comes Ryan. Like you said, Ryan Smith, sorry to interrupt you, right to the center 50.
Well, Ryan Smith had played very well. Him and Ryan Moorhead had been going up into that center, different points, and Ryan Smith really emerging as a top-flight professional paintball player. He's been on Houston Heat since its inception, came up with Distortion, and one of the inaugural members of Houston Heat, and really proving that he deserves to be playing well, and he's starting here in the quarterfinals.
And he just needed to get those spins and get that confidence.
Yeah, Ryan Smith now is shooting through the center wall, the crack nearer to the Snake side, trying to lock down Snake, but there's no one Snake side for Dynasty. Switches the crack and now shooting Dorito side.
Well, Konstantin Fedorov in Snake 1. There's Ryan Smith up in the center. Konstantin Fedorov in Snake 1 for Houston Heat. They haven't lost a body yet, still 5 players alive, and Dynasty's lost a couple, so the remaining Dynasty players are going to have to try to get a couple kills here and even this up.
Yeah, look, Ryan Moorhead has the width with Heat pushing Dorito's side, sitting nice and tidy. I think he's matched up with Ryan Greenspan, but
looks like Dynasty's just
Brandon Short.
Brandon Short, so he's walking off, so now they're down 3 bodies to Houston Heat's 5, so they're going to have to make something happen here.
Well, it's tough when you're looking at 5 bodies, and Heat has been in this position a lot this tournament, and they're not going to force anything. I don't really see any sort of frantic body movement in their bunkers, getting a little greedy, trying to just look for that the move to run down the field or take a big bite. They're just gunfighting, they're rolling their guns, they know the count, they know there's only 2 players left for Dynasty. Probably expecting Dynasty to concede this point here at some point.
Yeah, it looks like Heat are sitting nice and tidy, not making any moves. Dynasty locking it up, but Dynasty losing 2 off the break and getting shot out their bunkers. Ryan Smith just got taken out by, looks like, Ryan Greenspan. And Fedorov makes a move down the wire for Snake, looking through that little blind shot through the pins, Rab.
Well, this is a glimmer of hope here for Dynasty in this point, is now it's 4-on-2.
And look at that, they almost just took out Fedorov right in the harness there. So they got a 4-2 lead. They're going to take their time, like you said. They're willing to play this out as long as they have to. They would take it all the way down if they to the end if they have to get that point. They don't care.
Hey, yeah, I mean, that's probably not going to happen, but yeah, it's all about winning. So, and that goes not just for the game, but for the points. So right now, again, the reason why Heat isn't doing anything crazy or trying to reposition to take better spots is because they have such a big advantage. When it's 4-on-2 and you're in that high body situation, you want to earn every single move. You don't want to just cannonball down the field because you're up a couple bodies. That's how you throw high body situations away. Ryan Moorhead makes a move over there on the D side of the field, gets to the mini wall bunker. Over there, you can see Fedorov. He's just been peeking, coming back and forth. He's trying to make sure that there's just 2 bodies left alive, make sure they're still in the same spots.
Heat haven't crossed the 50 line just yet. They can do, but like Matty says, they're still sitting here at the 45. Fedorov talking it up with Ryan Moorhead.
Ryan Greenspan.
So, yes.
Ryan?
No, that's Marcelo Margot. So it's just Blake Yard. No, Tyler Harmon.
Ryan's not out there, so it is Tyler Harmon. Playing nice and tight.
And Tyler's going to get tapped out. So nice work by Fedorov, Ryan Moorhead, and Sergey and Chad George, the 4 players left alive here for Houston Heat to win a pretty easy one against Dynasty. And that's the thing.
It's an easy win. You shoot 2 on the break.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't help.
This is what but this is what we've seen out of Heat all tournament long. They've been shooting guys off the break. Just one-on-one stuff. Shoot guys off the break. Stay alive. Make smart moves. Win gunfights. I mean, all the things you need to kind of put together at the same time in order to win events, and not only just do all the things you're supposed to do, but have multiple guys not make mistakes. I mean, I really haven't seen anybody on Heat where I've been like, oh, that was absolutely terrible, and for multiple points in a row. I mean, everyone on that squad with their pared down roster, as you're watching the replay here at the end of that last point, nothing that Tyler Harmon could do. But everyone across the board, Heat pared the roster down, talked to Ryan Smith, the owner of the team. He's like, look, our roster against anyone else's roster, what do you think? I was like, on any given day, man, you guys could win the tournament. I mean, I understand why you did what you did. It gets guys a little bit more settled in the reps. Okay, now we're into this 187 crew impact game.
As we say that, Nick Slowiak gets taken out immediately, so it's 5-on-4, and 187 loses another player, so they're down 2 bodies immediately. Refs yelling at him to get off the field.
Keith Brown already in the Snake for impact, and he was a heavy character over the weekend. He's playing that position very well, Rab.
Yeah, he's been the whole weekend. This particular lineup right here that Impact has out here with Keith Brown, Nick Laval, Justin Rabikoff, Alex Goldman has just been tearing it up all weekend. So let's see what happens. They take out another 187 player. So it's 5-on-3. And Keith Brown gets a little too greedy there, gets domed in the head.
It's 5-on-2. Yeah, but now 4-on-2 as you said, Keith just takes a walk.
But this is similar to last game. It's 4-on-2, and you still got to take your time. But 187 loses another body, so it's 4-on-1.
It's been a harder journey here for 187 crew. I mean, it seemed it, but 187 crew did win 3-1, and they lost their only game against Heat yesterday. So I mean, Heat just took Dynasty in the first point, but Edmonton Impact, they seem to be just cruising through.
Yeah, this lineup, obviously they've been running many different lineups, but that particular lineup, and rightfully so, if that's what Coach Yakimak has got working right now.
Well, here's the thing with 187 crew. We know that 187 crew can play some high-level paintball. They've had top 4 finishes.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to get back to the top 4 right here, but they're taking on, of course, the favorite here. Impact won the series championship last year.
2 years in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. I mean, we haven't had a more successful team. Yeah, Dynasty is coming off the World Cup victory, so they won the last tournament. But, you know, Impact just keeps improving their roster constantly. So they're one of the favorites. 187 has to beat Impact. They have to step up here.
Dynasty mixed it up again, changing up their 5, whereas Heat...
lose a player on the break.
Yeah, they've lost their Fragi.
And here comes Ryan Moorhead right to the center 50, right side, snake side. That just going to make it a little bit difficult for Dynasty right now, losing Alex Frazier on the snake.
And Frazier had been playing really well on this snake side. So Dynasty they have to get players out alive.
It's Ryan Smith that took out Frazier there in the back center. He seems to be playing the center along with Sergey. They keep picking those same 2 for the defense, picking up the lanes off the break. So Ryan Smith and Sergey doing work for Houston Heat.
And I'm glad Ryan's getting the spins, because that's all he wanted. He just wanted the spins, and it was like we were talking earlier. Tim Montressor wasn't getting spins with the team last year, and he's getting a lot of spins with Tampa Bay Damage right now. And look what they made it to the next round. So as I say that, Ryan makes it out to the snake corner.
Yeah, he's bumped out wide, and why not, to get the width against Dynasty. If they lost Alex Frazier on the break, they don't have the snake side. Heat just working the plays here to get width. And they're in the driving seat a little bit as Chad George does a little bump.
And here's Oliver Lang out to the snake 1. And looks like Fedorov gets taken on the Dorito side, so it's a 4-on-4, and Oliver just makes this movement to snake 1 here.
This is what Dynasty needs to keep this one close. They let that Impact game run away with them because they spotted Impact like 5 points. They got penalties. They just started flat.
And here's right
exactly what I'm talking about. Dynasty cannot do that. Another penalty on them, which is unfortunate for if you're a Dynasty fan. But if you're Heat right now, you're like, hey, man, this is what we want. We're trying to get back, win some more tournaments here. Looks like getting into the snake, Oliver Lang, and shooting out Ryan Moorhead, Ryan Moorhead in the center. Now a penalty on Sergey on Heat. That should even up the body count even more. It might even be Dynasty advantage right now.
It's definitely Dynasty advantage now.
And here comes Oliver Lang.
Oliver Lang and Chad George, snake side. Here comes Oliver Lang.
Beautiful work.
Chad.
Beautiful work by Oliver Lang to finish off that point. You can hear the crowd explode. And Dynasty fans out there, nice work by Oliver and the rest of the guys left alive here from Dynasty. And it looks like Dalton Vanderbilt was also alive on that D side. Nice composure by them. Not surprising, of course, if you got Dalton Oliver out there.
Right, and to do that through a penalty, and then he decided to give them a gift and said, hey, we'll take it. Doesn't matter. It's tied 1-1.
Yeah, so close match here, and Dalton is just chilling over in near the Houston Heat start gate, just waiting for Houston Heat to concede the point. They are totally okay, apparently, with just burning a bunch of this clock off here. Well, I wouldn't say a bunch yet, but definitely a good maybe 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to get their guys a little bit of a break here for a second, or their coach just isn't paying attention.
Oliver Lang now back playing the full season with Dynasty, and Dynasty have a roster of about 11 now, with Houston Heat's shaved their roster right down.
I think, like Matt was saying with Houston Heat, they were pretty much running 5 to 7 guys, 6 to 7 guys pretty much the last 2 years anyway. So I think that's probably why they did it.
Talking about Dynasty?
No, Houston Heat.
Yes, let's take a look at this replay here. This Oliver Lang cleaning up this point with just one player left alive in the snake for Heat, keeping that gun up, good form. And we can see it from the other angle here in a second as Chad George is getting tapped out by Oliver. Nothing Chad could do there. But nice work to clean that point up for Oliver. But, Steve, to speak to what you were saying, yeah, Heat had pretty much been running just that starting 5 with the Russians and then a couple players here or there, which I could understand. Chad, Ryan. It depended, it changed a little bit here or there. But I totally understand logically why they pared their roster down, seeing as those guys were getting the majority of the spins anyway.
Yeah, and it saved money. But as I said, we say that this next set, Impact versus 187, Alex Goldman tried to go all the way to the Snake 50 on the run, which he did through the prelims, and he just got taken out. So that's a big elimination for 187, taking out Alex Goldman, because him and Justin have been doing some serious damage on that side. And here they come. Nick Slowiak right to the center. So this is
Eye in the sky cam here from GI Sports. Nick Slowiak shooting the crack through the center wall. He's trying to pinch. It looks like Justin Cornell sitting there in the tower. If you can see top of your screens. Edmonton Impact now swap sides. They're playing on the left, 187 crew on the right. And 187 crew, a player in their favor. Let's see what Nick Slowiak can work in the middle as he tries to pinch Keith Brown in the snake corner. Keith Brown trying to get the width now for Edmonton Impact.
And look, as you say that, Zach Yakimak is looking like he's going to try to creep on Nick. He knows he's there. Justin called out the call, whatever the call is, to let him know, hey, center, and Nick almost gets taken out there.
Zach wants to go get him. You can see, always can tell when you're watching these games by the body language what a player's going to do. Zach looked like he was getting a little froggy in there, and he wanted to go and bunker out Nick. Now composed a little bit more and just shooting towards that D side as he doesn't really feel the lanes open for him to launch. Nick Slowiak is doing a good job of playing lots of that bunker up in the center 50 wall. And now he's a real tall guy, so that's a perfect spot for him.
You can see him now on the camera. He's trying to put a lot of heat there down on Zach Yakimak in the Coke can. You can see the center of the field. Zach can't move right now because of Nick, but he's now posting. Dorito side has allowed Zach to make the move. Hello. And shoots Nick in the pack, but Zach gets taken out by 187 crew back center.
That was a good move, though, because you could see everyone at Impact was worried about Nick Slowiak up there, and it was stopping their forward push. That's what that center bunker does. So perfect move by Zach to get up there and take Nick out, which is going to now open things up. And here comes Justin Rabikoff. He's moving down.
And they took out another 187 player in the back corner here.
Max Trailer.
So it looks like it's now 3-on-3.
Yeah, so Max Trailer takes the early walk here for 187. 3-on-3, even up on the body count, 12:38 to go. Impact a 1-point lead.
It looks like the refs here checking the rate of fire. Just check Keith Brown's in snake corner. He's good. He's wrapping now on the inside at the temple snake side. On your screens, you can see
Keith Brown, big move.
Keith Brown in the top left corner you just saw there, and that's 187 crew tucked in tight. Dorito side is a battle between Keith Brown.
Well, and then also 187 countering that move by running out to the back corner bunker on the snake side, try to slow Keith down,
and
at least keep him
honest.
honest.
Move, man, yeah, it's now he has to pay attention to the guy on the rear side, as we say that Justin moves down the Dorito side as well, so this is going to start getting really interesting.
Well, here's the move that also came from 187 as Drula on your screen there in the Snake 1 for 187 crew. That was a good move because now
Keith doesn't know it, though.
Well, Keith doesn't know it, but also he's trying, you can see he's trying to put himself in position to eventually run Keith down. And he has a guy right behind him.
Because right now, nobody's watching Keith right now.
Nobody's watching. Everyone's looking the other way, and now Keith gets up and just double checks in that back corner bunker, but Keith does not know that Matt Derula is very close to him. So Derula, and no one's looking at Derula. I don't think anyone saw Derula even make that move.
He hasn't, and Nick Laval hasn't even looked at all. Keith now knows he's there.
Well, he shot the back and then it looked like he got a ball. Oh, and he's going to get run down. Might get a penalty on Keith Brown. Nope, didn't pull it, but beautiful move by Matt Derula, and he's going to get a couple shots on Pax right now. Nice work by Matt Derula to crack this point open and tie this game up for Upton 187 crew.
Matt Derula all over it.
Well, hey, I was warned a couple years ago by some of the guys that were 187 in that family of the Pacific or of the Northeast ballers, and they were like, "Look, you got to remember the name Matt Derula. He's going to be a star on 187. It's going to take him a little bit of time." Sure enough, remember the name Matt Derula, keeping 187 in this match.
And he just saved the day right there.
I'm sure we can check out the action replay here from Matt Derula doing the work for 187 crew snake side. Here he comes and takes out Keith Brown and then pops up and shoots crossfield to win the point for the crew.
Yeah, Keith tried to put a ball on him, but those are those spots when somebody gets the drop on you, it's your natural reaction to try to spin. It's just that, it's a reaction, but you have to train yourself to really not do that. And then you see Matt Derula going in there and hitting that buzzer. 1-1's the score there. Now we're back in this matchup. Another 1-1 score. Houston Heat, San Diego Dynasty, as Oliver Lang and Dalton pulled that game out.
Looks like Houston Heat had picked the same 5.
On the breakout, Houston Heat doubling up that back center and then getting out here towards the snake side of the field. And Alex Rodriguez
moving up,
gets a spin for San Diego Dynasty, and he's been another one of those huge killers up in the center all tournament long.
Yeah, A-Rod probably arguably the best move of the tournament so far.
One of them, actually, for sure in the top 3, as we saw. You know, Toke Hamill from the Ironman had a 4-pack down the D side, and then Mitchell Jordan from Thunder.
Thunder had a killer move last night.
I have to say that Jordan move was the move of the tournament. Well, we still have a whole day to play here, though, so we always see awesome moves on Sunday.
For sure.
Yeah. So here comes Fedorov. He's pushing up to the 50 to match up with A-Rod in the center.
He's trying to creep up and not let Dynasty's A-Rod know that he's there. And here he goes around and boom, takes him out. And he gets taken out too. See, like we were watching Damien earlier, Matt. Damien would creep right around quick, get a quick shot and get back. And Fedorov would just stayed there that time. So.
Well, Fedorov's also done that move too. I mean, that's the ideal situation. Get the guy in front of you and stay alive. But getting the guy in front of you is that's the first thing on the checklist.
That's great. Great shooting there from Ryan Moorhead. The kill in the center's allowed Ryan to push down the Dorito side and got a kill against Dynasty. Here he is on your screens, playing the line at, looks like the Dynasty's 40. He's sitting there. And Carl Spicker tries to spread the field and pushes snake side, playing nice and tight. Very much aware that Ryan's on the width.
Well, with pretty even body count here, 8 minutes and 14 seconds to go. 1-1 is the score. A little bit better field position for Houston Heat with Ryan Smith over here on the snake side trying, well, actually same field position. Ryan's trying, I was just going to say, he's trying to make a move in the snake, but he gets shot, so that's going to open things up. Kyle Spica, the hero from World Cup last year, gets into snake 1 for San Diego Dynasty, shoots cross field. And past the 50-yard line, though, on that D side, Houston Heat in real good position.
I think that's Tyler Harmon over there who's got the kill.
Well, Kyle Spica.
And Chet George as well.
Well, this is the guy right now. I think that's Ryan Moorhead, who's past the 50-yard line over here on Dynasty's side of the field.
He's like, hey, I'm on their side of the field. Stay alive behind me.
Well, but the problem is he has guys dying on his team on the other side of the field, which is going to allow Spica to get up a little bit here. And referees in there checking out Kyle Spica. But there's Ryan Moorhead past the 50-yard line on Dynasty's side of the field. And Kyle Spica, I don't know if you know, okay, he just picked him up. So Kyle Spica knows that Ryan Moorhead's there. That's why he's tucked into that spot and shooting cross field.
Here comes Sergey pushing to snake corner. See if you can clip Kyle Spica down the line.
Ooh,
he
missed
close.
his shot,
He
and then I think he pinched him out to Ryan Moorhead.
Yeah,
he's hit.
Yeah, great shooting from Sergey there.
Nice teamwork.
Ryan Greenspan coming
no, that's
through.
Brandon Short. Brandon Short coming through, and he's going to take out Ryan Moorhead, and he gets shot. That's going to leave just Marcelo Margot, but
and
a major penalty.
On him for keeping the run through.
Major penalty on Brandon Short. Dynasty just has caught the penalty bug here at this event. And I can see immediately the manager, Eric Crandall from Dynasty, coming over and giving Tom Cole from NXL a piece of his mind about that penalty. Couldn't really see it from here. I don't know if you guys were able to get an angle on that. That's on the far side from us on that D side of the field. Saw Brandon Short take off to go get Moorhead, and then he got lost from us as he crossed that 50 and was blocked out from the center wall structure. And then we saw the ref run over there, pull that major. Let's see if we can check it out here on the replay. So there is, I think that's Sergey getting out wide. This was awesome because Higgins is going to go out wide. Spica has no idea he made that move. He's zoned up on Ryan. He tries to get a shot on Spica, forces him in to Ryan Moorhead's gun. Boom, Ryan gets that shot cross field. That's that unspoken teamwork. You know, I mean, and Ryan didn't even know potentially, probably, that that move was made by Sergey, but he definitely saw the body come out. And then here we can see, yeah, there's Brandon Short.
Yep. The leg and then
yeah, Brandon Short. I mean, that's pretty legit there. He got shot and then continued to run. Yes, let's run this back here. And you can see the hits right about there. So as we watch this, watch the left-hand side.
30 seconds.
Brandon's left-hand side, as you see the hit, I think it's about right there. See, on his leg, and he keeps going as we play that out.
Yep.
So he keeps going. He's shooting his gun right now. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a major for that.
Right when you get hit in the front. And again, adrenaline's going. He's trying to get through. He's trying to make it. It's a great move. Shit happens.
So here we go. Tied up in this 187 Crew Impact quarterfinal matchup with 11:10 to go. And the winner of this game is going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage, who defeated San Antonio X Factor in the first quarterfinal matchup. Also today, going to be seeing all of the top divisional teams here on the main field coming to try to win their respective divisions. Always interesting to see those games, because that's where we've seen teams like Uprising, teams like 187, AC Dallas over the years. The first glimpses we get to see of those teams is typically in the finals as they make their way up the divisions, proving that it can be done. You know, if you're out there and you have a paintball team playing a regional circuit and you don't think, you know, or at least you think that you can, you know, because anybody can, not, I wouldn't say anybody can do it, but because it does take a special mix of that mental tenacity, the talent, the hard work, all that kind of comes together. But we've seen time and time again these teams put together, you know, from just guys around their area, and they enter regional leagues, get a little bit better, come to the national circuit, and sure enough, next thing you know, 5 years, you know, 2, 3, 4, however long it takes, out on this main field. And Uprising, what a great story from them this year.
They went right through the divisionals, just like you said, AC. And here we go with the breakout of 187 and Impact. And it looks like they took out Justin Cornell right away. That's another big elimination on that snake side, that Dorito side that 187's doing.
Yeah, if you can't see their jerseys here on the screen with the light, that's 187 crew on your left, Impact on the right.
So right now, 187's kind of has Impact going. What is going on over here? That we're losing our guys. We haven't lost during the prelims, but hey, that's why you got to play this game today. And we see that 187's moving down that Dorito side.
There's Matt Derula on your screen, the hero from the last point, and now over a very versatile guy. He's back on the D side now.
Alex Goldman just made a quick bump into Snake 1, but I think he's getting a little heat here from the center 50 from 187 crew, but he's still alive. He's just sitting patiently, but you can always tell Alex Goldman when he's going to make a move. He almost pushes the bunker in, but he's sitting there quite patiently now, sucking it up. And as Impact only have 4 players against 187 Crew's 5 and spread of the field.
The way they're playing, they're just spreading the whole field out. They're at Snake 2, they're at the Dorito side, they're at the center 50. Nick Slowick's backed up in the back corner on the Snake side. They're just covered well across the field here. And Impact just looks out of sync right now. And it's because 187's letting them know, hey, we're here to play.
Well, we talked about, we were hoping it wasn't going to happen to Heat, which is what is happening to Impact, at least in this point. You know, again, when everything's working for you in the prelims.
Oh, wow. I say, sorry, Reb. Max Traylor tried to get a shot on J-Reb. J-Reb pulled a Paritnikov one ball, put one right at him there. So that just opened up the middle of the field.
Yeah, and it's freed up Alex Goldman now, bumping into Snake 2. And he'll shoot crossfield to try and get the kill, and he does.
And he does. He takes out. So now, who is that over there?
Derula.
Derula.
Yeah, so that's one of the big killers for 187 off. Nice work by Alex Goldman. That's why you pick up Alex Goldman, is new player for Edmonton Impact here this year. Bart's been trying to get him for a while. Was finally able to do it and pull him off of Infamous, and now he gets into the 50-yard line. And Zaleski right in front of him here. So there's Zaleski poking up over the top, and now Goldman's going to establish down that sideline. See who's going to be the first to attack. Goldman. Here's the split screen on the snake side battle. On the left-hand side, you're looking at Zaleski, and on the right-hand side, that's the back of Alex Goldman. And Goldman just focused that way because there's another body on the field for Impact. It's 4-on-3, 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go here. Now Goldman backs up off that spot, trying to get a better angle. That means he might run it. Just going to try to run the highway potentially. There he goes. Launches on the highway, stitches up Zaleski, and then he gets torched from the back corner bunker. And then there is, looks like Justin Rabikoff past the 50-yard line, utilizing the chaos from that Goldman move to try to close this point out for Impact.
And he's going to try to put a shot on Nick Slowiak in this corner, but Nick, and he just gets taken out here, so.
That's great teamwork there between Alex Goldman on the width and Rabikoff. And then there's the silent assassin, Mr. Yakimak.
Someone just got a penalty.
Well, as we'll see what happens with that penalty. You know, Rab, you were just talking about how things didn't look like Impact was finding their form yet, and that's the point they need, though. They need that point to, you know, solidify that confidence. Go up by 1. And let 187 know, hey, we're not going to go to sleep on you guys. We definitely came to play this game.
Yep, and it looks like I just heard Impact running off. Someone's starting with 4. I don't know who yet, but that penalty went up. Someone's starting with 4 here.
So let's check out the action replay here from the highway run of Alex Goldman.
20 seconds.
So you should be. And here is the reverse angle. And it's a straight trade. And then you see Nick Slowiak just giving a little bit of love to Alex Goldman before he starts complaining.
So now getting back to this game here. Houston Heat, San Diego Dynasty.
Yeah, Heat on your left. Dynasty, the boys in blue on your right. And there's a little bounce there on Dalton Vanderbilt, pushing out Dorito side, but he's alive. Ryan Smith pushes to the center wall, posted up Dorito side. But, oh, looks like Fedorov gets picked off. Yeah. I'm not sure who got that kill from the center. I think it possibly...
Might have been Marcelo Margot.
Yeah, Marcelo.
Yeah, because Marcelo is in that temple shooting towards the snake side of the field. So it might have been Marcelo. And it looks like, uh-oh, Dynasty losing a body over here, snake side, and it's Kyle Spica. So there's the attacker, the first player to attack, coming off early here, dying out of his spot, and Kyle Spica.
Which puts it 4-on-4 now.
Well, it puts Dynasty on the defensive here a little bit because Ryan Smith is up in that center, cutting down that D side of the field. That's going to make life harder for Dalton. Dalton has to deal with Ryan Smith. He can't really make any moves over there, and I think Dalton just got shot in his arm. No, can't. He tucked in, and now he's shooting towards the other side. Maybe that came off the bunker. So now Dalton's good to go.
Yeah, he got Sergey and Ryan Moorhead working together again. Sergey in the stand-up tower and Ryan Moorhead sitting tight in the first Dorito side. But Dalton pushes up Dorito side as Sergey checked in on the inside. Ryan Smith posted up Dorito side as well. Obviously can't get killed. He might get one now. No, nice play from Dalton to get in nice and low under that lane. And just misses Ryan Smith, and Ryan Smith's still alive in the 50. Yeah, this allows Marcelo Margot to push out, and Ryan Greenspan following him. They're working as a team, Dynasty, looking to push Dorito side in the field.
Ryan's screaming. He swears he shot someone. It looks like he did shoot someone in the back corner. It looks like Ryan Moorhead. So, and Ryan Smith doesn't know that Dalton just moved up here, and now he does because he just took him right to the head.
And
so
with 5 minutes remaining, that minor penalty here is going to clear it out for Houston Heat. So San Diego Dynasty with the body advantage. You see a sea of red. Houston Heat players walking off all over the place. There is one player left alive here, back corner
Chad
bunker.
George,
yeah, Shelly, Chad George back here. Margot makes his move up the D side.
It looks like it's a 2-on-1 now.
Yeah, Ryan Greenspan and looks like Marcelo Margot against Chad George in the corner. Straight up 2-on-1. Here comes Ryan Greenspan down the center as Marcelo pods up, looking for the hunt.
Yeah, and Greenspan gets to that 50. They got to be careful here. Greenspan cutting towards that center. The snake is, traditionally you want to spread the field in a 2-on-1 situation. Now Marcelo Margot on to way past the 50-yard line. And that's going to make, but the thing is that now it looks like, Ryan Greenspan cuts and walks right to the center. Nice move by Ryan Greenspan. So the reason he did that instead of go out wide, Chad is expecting him to go out wide. And because he didn't feel any pressure from that way, he was backing up off that bunker a little bit to line the bodies up. So what Ryan did was he just kind of cut to the center a little bit and put the center of that stand-up bunker, ran right directly at the bunker with his gun up just in case he came out, and then came out wide and stitched him. So nice work to close that out there for Ryan Greenspan.
And just 3.5 minutes remaining of that quarterfinal match between Dynasty and Heat. Dynasty in the driving seat 2-1. Let's check out this action replay now from Ryan Greenspan taking out Chad George into the corner. As you said, Matty, using the blind spot but coming inside instead of the expected down the line. Chad George hangs his head, knowing he's the last player alive. And Ryan Greenspan pumping the air and into the start gate to press the buzzer as the bleachers went crazy over there. There's a lot of Dynasty fans here watching in a very warm NXL Las Vegas here, first event for 2016.
Yeah, there's close to home. Everyone could drive and come see them play, which they don't get to have out here often, so this is great for them.
Well, and also, Dynasty successful throughout the years. I think you could make a real strong argument that they have the biggest fan base of all of the teams.
Absolutely.
Because they've just been so successful for so long. And it's been such a captivating story over the years. And if you want to get a chance to check out, and you haven't seen it yet, go check out 15, which was a documentary done by Dan Napoli and Planet Eclipse. Kind of tells the story of the 15th season where they've won a tournament every single year for 15 years in a row. And that record was on the line last year as they went into World Cup. And we all know how that story ended. And if you don't know how it ended, you definitely should go check out.
I think all Dynasty fans back home have already seen it. But yeah, even if you're not a fan of Dynasty but a fan of Paintball itself, check out 15 to see what the Paintball life's all about, especially for champions such as the Dynasty Wow.
why. Yeah, so here we go, 187.
I think that last point, 187, got a penalty for talking.
Yeah, so
And I think they're starting with 4.
So on your screens, Todd letting us know what's going down.
yeah, so the refs are right now trying to figure out if 187 should be starting with 4 or 5. Only see 4 bodies out there right now for them. So Impact has 5 bodies out, and the refs are over here talking about that to try to figure out if it's 4 bodies or 5. There's Impact on your screen, just kind of chilling and getting ready to go. That's Nick Laval, 13 on the right-hand side. There's Keith Brown, the speed demon, first attacker on the snake side, and Zach Yakimek, who really emerged as the MVP for Impact last year.
Now, we've been talking about a lot of players this weekend working that center 50, the wall, but Nick Laval has been kind of like the silent assassin, really. I mean, he's working it up with his team, but he's been playing that wall really well as well.
I would say, yeah, absolutely very competent play, as always, from Nick Laval, particularly in this event up the center. We haven't seen the spectacular run-throughs from him, and we haven't seen as many kills.
Almost like clinical paintball, just doing it right for
So Dan Zaleski is losing his mind over here on the sidelines as he runs in to try to tag up. We're going to try to see what he's angry about, but they are going to start with 4.
There they are on the right, just 4 players. Dan Zaleski going to push Snake. He's going to take a chunk.
Last guy, the last point was the last guy got shot, didn't put his hand on his head, got a minor.
Wow, that's a tight call. And I can see why Zaleski was a bit pumped up there before.
And that's a new rule this year, too.
And it's a new rule. I think a lot of people are over here getting used to it, but we've had 2 days of it. So, but yes, it's Sunday, man.
It's tough, and I'm everyone that's been watching the webcast, I'm always a little harsh on rules that aren't really truly affecting anything with the gameplay, but that, hey, a rule's a rule, and if it exists in the books, you got to follow it. So it's also kind of tough because they've been playing for years without that. And that rule exists in Europe, so they're kind of, again, trying to unify the rules across the world.
Exactly.
They understand the logic, and players are just going to have to get used to it right now.
I mean, I'm used to the rule, being from the Millennium Series and Europe. Hand on your head, that's kind of what you learn as soon as you go in.
That's been going down. 187 just took out Nick Laval, who's walked off, so now it's 4-on-4, so that penalty's now evened out.
Yeah, they even it up, so the paintball got shine on 187 crew here to even this up.
Getting checked by the ref.
7 minutes to go here, and good field position.
Major.
Here comes a major from Keith Brown. Yeah, hot gun.
So Keith Brown and 2 more bodies are going to walk off here for Impact, and that should give 187 crew that's going to give them the point, but actually, yeah, it is going to give them the point. Actually, that's all the bodies that were left, and you can hear Dan Zaleski, who, like I said, was very angry about that call, asking literally, and I quote, "Are you serious?" There's Zaleski right there, still flipping out. Still giving the referee a piece of his mind.
Yeah, they're pointing Alex Goldman, saying he hasn't got his hand on his head, just giving it to the ref about that decision. But yes, it's the new rule. As soon as you're shot, you don't shout hit anymore. You put your hand on your head. But Zaleski definitely pumped up with basically handed the point there by Impact with Keith Brown's hot gun.
Well, let's check out this replay. So here we go, and there's Keith Brown. He's going to get chronoed from the referee. Again, if your gun is shooting too fast by either balls per second or too fast for velocity, you're assessed a penalty immediately. So that's why. But a lot of guys like to ride on that edge, so they get that extra. I was never one of those guys. So I hated getting penalties.
No. So here we go. This game is tied.
I'll take 285, consistently. I don't need to be at 295.
Same as me, Matty.
Ryan Moorhead tried to come out towards the center, and he tripped and got going there, so he's down. Dynasty's down a player, so it's a 4-on-4, but here comes Houston Heat. They just lose another player.
It's A-Rod again in the center 50. You can see him now.
He's past the 50-yard line. Here goes. He's about to launch, but gets destroyed one step past that pin.
Yeah, he took out 2 kills there, 2 packs, but went a little bit too far. He could have stayed in a little bit tight and hold it back a little bit for Dynasty. Dynasty still have 4 alive. No, 3. I'm not sure who they lost there as we were looking at the action in the center of the field. Heat also have 3.
So right now, no one in the center bunkers at all, and no one in the center, no one in the snake, no one really on that D side. Guys gunfighting out of their spots with just 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go in this close match. It's all tied up.
Far Dorito side.
Dalton making his move for San Diego Dynasty on that D side, moves up out of that back corner bunker. And then there goes, it looks like Brandon Short digging out wide over here on the snake side. So Brandon trying to talk it up, trying to get a call all the way cross field for Dalton. talk to him, who now moves into the 50, or looks quite, actually 40-yard line over there for Dalton. And now Ryan Smith, he makes his move in a snake too. And then now here comes Konstantin Fedorov, and he's going to go right at Dalton, and they trade out. So those two bodies are going to come off. Ryan Smith puts a couple extra balls to make sure on Dalton, and he gets to the 50-yard line. And this could be Heat's point. Dynasty's got to be careful. If there's just that one player, I think it's 2-on-2. Brandon's now going to cut inside, trying to get a shot and get the drop on Ryan Smith. You can hear and Ryan Smith gets a shot on Brandon short. And I could hear the back player for Houston Heat yelling at Ryan Smith to slow it down. It was Chad George screaming at him, hey, slow it down. Smith was like, no, I'm just going to shoot Brandon out of his bunker right now.
And get this point real quick so we can get off the field.
And that could potentially do it here. I mean, now going up by 1 with only, I think, under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I'm sitting there watching that game, and I'm looking over to the Dynasty pits, and I'm seeing the team that are not out there, and you've got the Blake Yarber, Ryan Greenspan, Alex Frazier, Oliver Lang, Marcelo Mago, Tyler Harmon, all standing there watching the games. There's some big players that are just not playing that point.
So here we go on the replay. Dalton launched at the same time that Fedorov did, almost ran into each other. You can see a couple extra balls breaking on Dalton from Ryan Smith crossfield, and they're going to slap 5. Yeah, they launched at the same time and just roasted each other down.
It's a little frenemy
for
handshake
sure.
there.
These guys have met each other many times on the field.
So we go to breakout. Looks like both Impact and 187 are at the center.
It's Laval and Sloviak up in the center, Rab.
Yep, and let's see who gets the drop first. I think Nick just got smoked, and Nick Laval, and that's it. Nick Sloviak is still alive, so this game is tied 2-2, 6 minutes left, and I think Impact is like, what is happening here? 187 is playing with some serious confidence, and hey, they have a chance to plenty of time to win this game, and they're doing it right now.
There's a lot of time left. 6:08 to go. It's tied up. 187 crew with a body advantage here, but definitely having Sloviak up there, that's really putting impact, as we've seen all tournament long. When players get up there in the center and there's no one with you, really it makes the other team play on their heels.
Yeah, no, neither team making any moves right now. You see the cam in the sky. Nick Sloviak shooting the crack of the center wall.
Oh, and as you say that, 187, he went tiptoeing across to the snake corner and got caught. And that's not what you want to do when you have a 5-on-4 lead against Impact, tied 2-2.
So 187 crew don't have the width right now, but they've got Mr. Sloviak there in the center.
Sorry, Shirley, go ahead.
That's okay, trying to shoot Nexon Packs.
No one on the snake side right now for 187, which means that the remaining players need to be careful as Impact spread the field. They have a body in the back corner bunker on that snake side, and 187 loses. I think that's Greg Lazat dying out of the back corner bunker, and a minor penalty because he didn't put his hand on his head. I think that's what what Jarula just got pulled for, which you could see. We'll see how 187 deals with that little mental setback here. That's really going to open things up for Impact.
So the same thing happens for 187 crew with the hand on the head rule.
That's disappointing for 187. And Impact now goes up by 1 with 4 minutes and 43 seconds. So 187 does have some time to work with to try to tie this game up.
And it's like you said, some of the guys are getting used to it. Some of them aren't. Some have picked it up real quick. And a lot of the guys that have played over in Europe over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they've figured it out.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I've been to Europe a lot in the last 8, 10 years, and some of the players were having a hard time figuring out as well. It takes a few penalties to happen, and you're going to stop doing that.
So back to Dynasty and Heat. Dynasty have put out Dalton Vanderbilt, Tyler Harmon, Ryan Greenspan, Alex Rodriguez, and Carl Spicker.
And Houston Heat goes right to the center. A-Rod's going to be coming there, creeping there soon. We got 1:39 left. This game is hot. Houston is up 3-2, and here comes A-Rod to the center here. He knows Houston Heat's there. He's checking his.
Yeah, well, Rodriguez goes in there, does a little pirouette, trying to check himself out and get a check by the referee. He's yelling at the ref right now to get in there and check out Ryan Smith, that he's got a hit on him. Ryan Smith has his hands up. and making sure he doesn't shoot his gun so he doesn't get a penalty. He gets pulled out of there.
Hands straight on the head there, but you're right, like teams like Edmonton Impact, Heat, and some of the Dynasty players, they're used to the European rules, so it becomes a bit more natural for them.
Yeah, and some of the other guys, including this field and all the other fields, are still adjusting to it.
Yeah, and right now, as under a minute to go, Dynasty has to put some sort of attack together here. You can see the players from Houston Heat just rolling those guns, trying to stave that attack off for Dynasty. Dynasty, their best position is on that D side of the field, and they're going to make that move. Another body gets peeled off. Here comes Sergey, who takes the walk.
Yeah.
Chad George is getting put into his bunker. It's Dalton Vanderbilt on your screen right now, and he's at the 40-yard line, but running out of time. Kyle Spica trying to make something happen on the snake side, rolling his gun, trying to get a shot on Chad George, who makes it into snake one. There's Kyle Spica, snake side, now back looking at the D side and loading it up with Dalton in the front, and he's backed up by, I think that is Tyler Harmon. No, it's Oliver Lang. So Oliver Lang and Dalton, another body comes off. It's Konstantin Fedorov. Dynasty has a chance. 15 seconds to go. Can Dynasty have another last-minute push here? Chad George is going to get stitched up by Kyle Spica, and there goes Ryan Mort. He gets shot, and that's going to be a minor penalty, I think, on Heat. And here goes Kyle Spica again. Last second, hits the buzzer with just about 5 seconds to go to tie this game up. I think we're going to an overtime.
Overtime, and if that just happened, they might start with the body
one
down.
Yeah, because there were no bodies left to pull when they threw that minor penalty. If there's no one left to pull, we'll see.
Wow.
That was
What a great job, though, by everyone that was left on Dynasty. You had Kyle Spica played off great, because when Dalton makes the move up on the D side, backed right up by Oliver. Perfect timing. They knew that that's some clutch veteran play. You're looking at the clock. You can see Dalton launch on the other side with the Oliver Lang. Spica plays off it perfectly, stitches up Chad George, knows in his head what the clock is, and just goes right in and hits that buzzer. Actually, it was so Dalton hopscotches Oliver Lang, or it was Tyler Harmon. Yeah, it was Tyler Harmon. I saw the 2 on there from that one angle. I thought it was Oliver.
I mean, Tyler Harmon did the big move first that started that all happening on the Doritos side. So Dynasty get the point to go into overtimes. We're back to 187 crew and Impact. 187 crew on your right, lose a player already, but Alex Goldman also gets pinched for Edmonton Impact. It's 4 against 4 here for the other quarterfinal matchup. 187 crew could.
But they lose Nick going to the
They got time.
They got time.
So,
but losing Nick for them, playing that middle, he's been making it there pretty much the whole game. That's going to be tough right there. So let's see what happens. But like I said, it's 4-on-4. But they did take out Alex Goldman, who's been doing a lot of damage for them.
It's like a fair trade, I think.
It's a fair trade.
So both teams anchored into their own bunkers right now, putting the lanes down. They don't want to take any risks. It's an important point in this matchup.
Well, still some time left. Under 4 to go, 3:53 on the clock, and Impact with that lead. And they are on the left-hand side of your screen right now. You can see their back line. They're just dug in. And this is what you see when you have teams with leads and they don't have position. They're rolling their guns. You can see from their body language, they're locked into those zones. And then on the flip side, 187 is going to be forced to go, but they don't want to go too early. Still, you want to work with the time that you have. With 3 minutes and 34 seconds, you don't have to just get up and run down the field. Try to put a guy in, make that next move, do it again, and then get yourself in position.
Get elimination, put it down to 3, and then keep pushing it here. So
maybe win a gunfight.
Win a gunfight, win the point.
At this moment in the game, it's the game of edges. If you're staying in your bunker, it's those little tiny shots.
Sitting up here, both these games, it's like my heart's racing out here because this
quarterfinals paintball on Sunday, man. I'd expect no less.
Both these matches.
You okay
awesome.
there, Rab? You're right.
Good.
Yeah.
No, this is great.
Yeah, Rab, you're getting a little old right now. You know, I don't want you dying on us.
And look, Zach
Yakmak.
No, man, I'm not trying to do that today. I got things to do tomorrow.
So Zach Yakmak makes a move, but it looks like it's Justin Cornell taking a big chunk Doritos side, weaving, and it comes to
so it
penalty.
looks like, on his head. Well, Thomas Mantoni over here in the pits for 187 was freaking out on the refs because Zach Yakmak didn't have his hand on his head. They've already been pulled for a penalty. So finally the ref goes and pulls that 1-for-1 on Impact, which could open things up.
And Zach Yakmak plays in Europe every year. He knows better than that.
Yeah, he should not be making that mental mistake here. And now Derula is going to get up in the center. I thought Mantoni's head was just going to burst off his body over here. He's just jumping up and down. Mantoni not suited up.
Matt
J-Mac just takes out Matt Derula, so this game is not over yet. Justin Cornell is walking off, but there's a lot of 187 players walking off, and Justin Rabikov is still out there. I think it's a one-on-one potentially here with Max Trailer.
I think There's
Well,
another player over there.
It's,
But
it's just it's J-Rab against Max Trailer.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a one-on-one. 3 bodies come off somehow for
Wow.
187. As we were looking at this chaos in the pits with Mantoni, and then the penalty on Yakimek, and then all these bodies come off for 187. So not sure if there was a penalty over there or if they just all got shot out of their bunkers. But now it's Max Trailer with 2 pods left, locked in a one-on-one for the game right here. Needs to try to get a shot on Justin Rabakov, who loses Trailer. He does not know the Trailer cut towards the end of the center of the field. Now Rabakov's picked him up.
Yeah, it's 1 minute 30 left on the clock. Justin Rabakov just needs to stay alive and work this one-on-one to win this quarterfinal for Edmonton Impact.
Yeah, and this is going to be the game right here. If Rabakov can get that shot on Trailer, which he does, and that is most likely going to seal the deal here. 187 needs to blow the horn. They just did.
So 187 crew throw the towel to give the point to Edmonton Impact to see if they can squeeze a point out this very tight game. Just over a minute left remaining. 187 crew earlier on get the penalty for not putting a hand on the head, and then again Zach Yakiman walks off the field, doesn't put his hand on the head, and the penalty comes.
Well,
so
if any player on this field right now knows better than that, that is Zach Yakimek. They've been playing in Europe for years.
Well, then also Thomas still flipping out, not putting the issue to rest over here, and then him and Dave Baines, you know, the players.
Thomas needs to be careful with that one. That's a big.
Oh yeah, no, I mean in a fist fight, that's not even a question. But yeah, I mean Dave Baines running about 6'4", 250 pounds. Thomas is about 5'7", maybe $120,
$150.
Yeah, he's about $160, soaking wet.
So this looks like it's going to go to overtime point. Neither team lose a body.
Well,
and smart.
Yeah, so they ran off that. I do not know why we have a rule where you're playing 3 seconds. Why do we do that, Rab?
Yeah.
Why do we do
As
that?
a representative from
Hold
the
on,
NXL, can you tell me?
Why? That's pointless.
Well, if anything, what it does is reduces the time in the pits for the other teams. Because remember, this is a bracket when you play after. It reduces that time in the pits.
Well, and also gives Heat a little bit of a gift because they had to start with 4.
Exactly.
If they had burned that time off, it would have been Heat starting with 4
and that's
in the
why.
overtime point.
There's your answer.
Yeah, but it's frustrating. But hey, we're going to have an overtime point here and still a little bit of time left in the Edmonton Impact and 187 game. But to be honest, I don't know if they can do it now down by 2. We have seen about an 11-second point out here, so it's physically possible, but we'll see. But yeah, what's kind of interesting here is Dave Baines was yelling at Mantoni yelling at Dave Baines, and I can understand the frustration for Thomas Mantoni.
They got it too.
Well, true, but Mantoni's not playing, and I don't know if he's hurt or what exactly happened, but it's also going to be frustrating to not be on the field to help your guys out, and Mantoni's one of their more experienced guys. Regardless, 1:18 to go, so it is physically possible that 187 can score 2 points to tie it up, but not probable. On the breakout, both teams go to Snake 1 off the break.
And 187 loses a player on the break.
Yeah, the
they
player
move to Snake 2, and Alex Goldman's in Snake 1, so it's a 4-on-5. Nick Slowiak coming over here to help out his player. He's going right around. Now he's at Snake 50. That's the way you got to do it. You're down 2 with 1:15 left. You got to go, and they're doing it. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, Zaleski now trying to shoot Dorito side, and he gets a kill.
Takes out Nick Laval. 187 loses a play going to Dorito corners.
And here comes the push. Past the 50-yard line, Zaleski runs down, Keith Brown and the Snake, and that leaves a couple players left alive for impact and just 35 seconds to go. So even though it looks like 187 crew might win this point, they're just not going to have enough time to tie it up. One of the 187 bodies is walking off on that D side, and it looks like, yeah, it's not looking good right now for 187.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go. Justin Cornell pushing Dorito's side. Nick Slowiak sitting tight. It just gets pinched there by Justin Cornell. And I don't think there's any players remaining for 187 crew. If there is, they're hiding. But Justin Cornell letting the time run down.
So congratulations to Edmonton Impact as they defeat Upton 187 crew.
And who's their matchup against now?
I believe they're going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, Damage who beat X Factor in overtime point 3-2.
Yeah, so Impact and Damage will be the semifinal matchup, and we are still awaiting to see who's going to win this Houston Heat San Diego Dynasty match. It will be going to overtime, but whoever wins that game is going to be taking on Los Angeles Infamous in the semifinals.
Los Angeles Infamous, that game was outstanding. I thought Thomas Taylor played brilliantly for Infamous.
Thomas is playing well. I think the MVP for that team right now is Damian Ryan.
Yeah,
Damian
down the
Ryan up that center is just dominating people.
Right now, the way everything I've seen play so far today, if he continues to play that, that's going to be a tough team to beat in this semifinal bracket.
Here we go. Quarterfinals, overtime point, Dynasty and Heat. Heat on the right, Dynasty on the left. A big chunk here from Ryan Smith pushing down the center. A-Rod matches him. What are we going to see?
And they take each other out, straight up trade. So no one in that center now, but off of that, Kyle Spica makes his way onto the snake side of the field, insert bunker snake side. And again, with that body language, looks like he wants to make that small bump into the snake one. He's got some help. Player right beside him, Brandon Short.
Yeah, Houston Heat looking a little bit tighter and fidgety, and behind their bunkers, Ryan Moorhead and Sergey. Whereas Dynasty, you can see on your screens now, a little bit more dominant on their feet. Laying down the paint.
And Dynasty's got 2 players on that Dorito side, you know, 3-1, Dorito 2 on the Dorito side, and I think right now they got the better position, like you said, Matt, with Kyle Spica. He's got the body language. He wants to go in. As I say that, here goes
Dalton
looks like
Vanderbilt.
Oliver
Dalton.
Lane.
No, it's Dalton moving up there. Yeah, Dalton for sure. And now
it is Dalton.
Getting close to the 50-yard line, and he's in that 40-yard line bunker set, the 2 Doritos, and he's on the outside Dorito.
Yeah,
and
Dalton Vanderbilt and Tyler Harmon working at Dorito side, but Ryan Greenspan pushes it into the snake corner to get the width, which allows Kyle Spica to push the snake one.
Houston Heat locked in their gunfights right now, zoned up to try to keep Kyle Spica out of the snake. They can't do it. Kyle Spica going to snake 2. He's going to crawl, low crawl, all the way into the 50-yard line and establish down the sideline here and wrap around and try to get some kills. You got to be careful in here. Kyle Spica definitely has the ball. He could blow this overtime point open for San Diego Dynasty. It's still 4-on-4.
Yeah, you can't see on your screens, but Fedorov nice and tight there in the temple before the snake, top of your screens. There's Kyle Spica shooting inside as Tyler Harmer's bumped to the tall tower to help out. Kyle
And
Spica
Sergey
gets
comes out and
poomed
pops
into the
one right
head.
on Kyle's head.
And I think Ryan Greenspan got shot out of that back corner bunker. I don't see him back there anymore, so that could, I don't know, man.
Wow,
Houston Heat.
That's Sergey. Sergey there for Houston Heat getting some kills.
Yeah, Ryan did die. See Ryan in the pits right now. So 2 bodies getting shot out of their spots over here for San Diego Dynasty. And yeah, Sergey over there for Houston Heat getting some kills on this side. And now Dynasty going to hope that their last 2 players left alive can make something happen. It's Dalton's in good position, though, on that D side. They're still worried about him. I don't think Heat has the count right because I don't think they understand that there's just 2 Dynasty players left alive.
Yeah, we've got Dalton Vanderbilt and Tyler Harmon for Dynasty. We've got Ryan Moorhead,
look at this.
Sergey, and
Dalton's on their
Fedorov
side.
for Heat. Yeah, Dalton's made a move.
And he's on their side now, so, but Ryan Moorhead knows this.
And he gets him. He takes out Konstantin Fedorov.
Makes it 2-on-2.
Well, it's 2-on-2 right now, but Tyler Harmon is in that center, not really in a great position to spread the field from there, and he's focused his gun to watch over Dalton, which is smart. Not saying good position, like he should change right this second, but
here he goes, Dalton Vanderbilt. He's looking to hunt down Ryan Moorhead.
Oh,
shoots him in the
beautiful
head.
move.
Wow.
And Sergey.
Wow. Wow, awesome, amazing.
As the
And
crowd, the pits, everyone goes crazy to allow Tyler Harmon to stroll up the field, gun up in the air. Hey, it's the West of America.
Wow.
Congratulations to Dalton Vanderbilt. What a beautiful move. Cuts up the center. Textbook execution. Gets the first one. And with those guys so close together, it made it real easy for him to line it up. He didn't need Tyler Harmon behind him. Tyler did do a great job of watching over Dalton, but Dalton saw the move.
Creeped
and
on him.
Comes up, wins the quarterfinal matchup. Come from behind victory here for San Diego Dynasty.
When just for a second there, when Kyle Spica and Ryan Greenspan were lost, it didn't look good. Dalton moves up, takes out Fedorov, and boom. That might be now that's probably the move of the tournament so far.
Let's check it out on an action replay. Let's have a look at this. Let's feast your eyes on some great paintball here. Dalton Vanderbilt running up the field. He shoots Ryan Moorhead in the head. Sergey, no idea. Peekaboo. And here is a reverse angle.
You know, and based on the situation, Rab, I would have to agree with you. When you're in overtime and you're down bodies and you make a beautiful move, I mean, it was even bodies there, but at one point Dynasty was down bodies. To win a low body situation like that in overtime as the time's ticking off.
Seasoned veterans, how can you're 5 feet from each other, cross each other up? How are you not crossed up?
Well, it's tough because you're looking for that. You're looking for that kill. Yes, textbook, you should be crossed up, but just Dalton, you couldn't have done it better right there. So big, huge congratulations to Dalton Vanderbilt and San Diego Dynasty. as they are going to be victorious. They're going to be playing Los Angeles Infamous. Those games are coming at you next. Stick with us here. 2016 NXL Las Vegas Open. Matty Marshall, with Shelly Farmer, Steve Rabakoff. You're watching on GoSports.com. We'll be right back.